SATYA BAAVNI Part 4, written by Sadhu Sadanand, English translation by Megha Sharma, narrated by Alisha Tharyani. After divine realization comes the liberated state. To the liberated one is revealed the ultimate experience of eternal bliss and peace. It's an experience that is beyond words. The physical form of the liberated one becomes the temple of the divine, and he, the liberated individual, during his lifetime itself attains Sadgati, that is, the supreme divine state. After the divine realization, he, the enlightened one, is perpetually in the liberated state, completely immersed in the love and devotion towards Paramatma. He experiences persistently an everlasting sense of immortality and bliss. The liberated one always stays centered within. He rises beyond all rituals or meditation, for within him he has realized a permanent source of eternal and everlasting bliss, peace, and joy. For the enlightened one, all concepts of truth and lives merge into that which is infinite and eternal, that is, the presence of the divine within him. He remains untouched by these worldly manifestations. Concepts like truth and lies are but manifestations of the illusion known as world and have no existence or identity of their own. The enlightened one, however, is able to see these illusions as they are and doesn't get carried away with them. These emotions take birth from within but are not able to disturb the enlightened one because his unification with the divine within grants him an eternal calm which absorbs all these illusions, leading to eternal bliss. Post his unification with the divine consciousness, the enlightened one erases his earlier identity as recognized by this world. With the realization of his true divine self, his identity moves beyond narrow materialistic and egoistic borders laid down by this world. O seeker, let there be no doubt in your heart that one day you shall surely and definitely be able to attain enlightenment. Continue to strive with devotion and determination on your spiritual journey and don't let this world deter you from your goal of self-enlightenment. For a determined seeker, it is but certain that he would be able to realize his true divine self within. The enlightened one shall no longer be stuck in the cycle of life and death that he has been rotating in across many lifetimes. He realizes the impermanence of this physical body and the fact that the only eternal immortal truth worth pursuing is the experience of the divine within. He ceases to return to the birth-death cycle since he has realized within Paramatma, one who is eternal, all-encompassing and limitless. The world is under the spell of an illusionary slumber, hence its fixation with material. Post-enlightenment, all illusions and biases arising from materialistic attachments lose their identity and merge with the divine wisdom. Neither old age, nor any sorrow, nor any physical torment manages to disturb the enlightened, for these are merely different states of the physical body, whereas the enlightened one is beyond all physical concerns, steadily focused within. The divine splendor and brilliance of Paramatma is constantly with the enlightened one. All that is dark or negative disappears in the brilliance of the divinity within him. Every moment is akin to a new bright day for him. In the radiance that now engulfs him, there are no more confusions, apprehensions, or fears. He soars above it all. A man who is ignorant of his spiritual purpose tends to remain steeped in the material rat race of this world. He constantly strives to be someone important, famous, rich, or likewise. The more he gets attached to materialistic things, the further he moves away from spirituality. Many a time, he may also manage to hoard material wherewithal of comfort, but invariably it turns out to be a temporary source of happiness. Soon enough, discontentment and dissatisfaction find him again, and he embarks on a new journey, seeking more means of comfort, assuming that they will grant him everlasting peace and security till one day, inevitably, death finds him. Hence, over many lifetimes, he continues to stay stuck in the same rigmarole, oblivious of his real purpose in life. Contrary to the aspiration of the materialistic man, a spiritual seeker seeks to detach from material and erases ego arrogance. He understands the illusion of material trappings and struggles to exit the same. He aspires to reduce his burden of karma rather than adding to it, and eventually seeks to exit this cycle of life and death. His one goal is but to discover his true divine self. In spirituality, to be is of no importance. Instead, to surrender all ego arrogance and to live simply with purity of soul is the means to spiritual progress. O seeker, resist the traps of illusions and that of attachments and affections. Stay centered within and function with an attitude of a non doer, that is, with a detachment, and indeed you shall be able to understand that which has been destined by Paramatma and decided by your karma. The enlightened one is always in a state of all encompassing, eternal, and permanent bliss, peace, and joy. Where the divine self has been realized within, remain no illusions. There is an uninterrupted flow of bliss, and the resultant blissful entity is none other than the enlightened one himself. The enlightened one experiences Paramatma's presence everywhere, in all animate or inanimate things. He experiences harmony with all. With this matchless achievement of self realization, that is, realizing his true divine self, he experiences an everlasting sense of immortality and transcends this ocean of worldly material existence.